There's like this thing. It's rotating.
What was in the skies of and why did it downwards treasured sites in Christianity?
All right. Welcome to Goof Fun, everybody. I'm your host, Rich Giordano, and it is Tuesday, March 15th. We're halfway through 2022. No, we're not halfway through 2022, but we're halfway through March, and it is still 2022. It's weird how that works. So I hope you're having a good Tuesday. It's really Wednesday because you're already done. You're here, the 9-to-5ers who work all day during the sun, if you had sun today. During the sun, I can't speak. I myself had just woken up 15 minutes ago, so we're all in this together. And I can't get the collar to do the right thing. I don't understand this thing. Yeah, it's a very strange collar. Oh, wait, did I get it? It's better than nothing. And, well, I don't know, maybe better than nothing. But I wasn't going to wear my Marvel t-shirt tonight for the little boy who said, he's wearing kids' t-shirts. It's like, I can't win if I wear my collared shirts. I'm a golfer because I wear a hat. If I wear a nice, just black whatever, there's no collar. I mean, is this a professional show or is this, I don't know. You can't win. So I'm just going to wear what I want, like I always do, and ignore you when you have something to say. And then we banned that guy, right? That guy's gone. Yeah. We got rid of him. So I hope you're in the mood for nothing. Because that's what today, that's what we're doing today. We're doing nothing. And you're going to love it. It's just one of those days. And no, I'm joking around. Government doesn't want disclosure. You know that, right? Right? And what am I about to say that won't shock anybody here? Lou! Yeah. It's because of Lou. I can't do it. I just don't want to talk about Lou tonight. So I'll do everything I can not to talk about Lou. I'm a little scared right now. Yeah. I think we're the channel. I don't know if it's shadow banning or what. But people are trying to leave comments and they're not showing up or they're disappearing, I'm finding out. And as I look at, we've only got 55 people here. That's weird. That is, I haven't seen that. It's been how long? I bet you notifications haven't gone out. It's just weird. I haven't seen that, I don't know, 2 years? So let's sit here and see what happens. 55. 56. We'll see if it gets to 100. Maybe I don't do the show until we get to 150. That's what we'll just sit here. Let's do roll call. Lisa M. Hey, first one today. Great outfit, great hair. Welcome to the show. Paul Fahey, welcome to the show. The beautiful one, Felicia Flores, welcome to the show. The Mothership with Wild Ascension. The show is about Lou, though. No, it is? Hold on. Wait a second. Oh, this is weird. Right. Government doesn't want disclosure, do they? Yeah, there's no Lou in there. It's always about Lou, though. It is. And it isn't. 59. What is going on? People are boycotting us? Is that what's going on? I can't do that. I don't understand what's going on right now. This is crazy. Hey, maybe this is unbelievably weird. I've never seen it so low. Mark D. Truth Searcher, welcome to the show. Mike Geometria, welcome to the show. R Film, welcome to the show. Royale, welcome to the show. Carl Ann, welcome to the show. Dinkum, Aussie, welcome to the show. Hey, do I have plaid I don't have plaid trousers, but I think I might get them. Okay, now I know some of you are usually, and I say this because I think something's going on and I have to do it. Some of you are not moderators tonight, and you will be again, but I have to leave it to just two of the original for now. Something is going on, and I have to figure it out. And I know that when you're a moderator, you can remove comments, and I'm not having it. Something's going on. It's really strange what's going. Look at this. 71? I tell you what, this is very strange. Yeah, I don't like it. It's shadow banning. It is. I told you, after the strikes, this was going to happen. We're gonna have a hard time getting the word out there. And when we used to have 200 in here, 180 on the regular, 200 we were hitting like the last 4 shows before we got the strikes. Yeah, we'd have 130 by now, 140. I guess I'm just gonna have to get used to it. It's like we're starting over. My thing is, if there were people that were here, how come they're not back? You know what I mean? I think YouTube does something with the numbers. And I'm telling you, I really believe it. I've seen it. Third Phase of Moon, too. They're shadow banned. To me, it seems like it really hard. I don't know why. Yeah, it's weird. I know the haters are going to say, it's because your show sucks. It does. I know, you're right. That's why we had 200 on the regular. Yeah, because we sucked. Yeah, that's what it is. Travis Smith with the $2 Super Suck sticker, right? Yeah, I bet it is. No, it's not. Oh, okay. What is it? Travis, thank you very much. Oh, that's cool. I've never seen that emoji before. That is a strange looking... It's a Russian toy bot. Wow, that is bizarre. I don't even know what it is. Travis, thank you. I like being stumped like this. Stumped. I like being stumped. Yeah. And because it's the first super chat of the day, we give you one of these. Thank you, Travis Smith, for the $2. I don't know what the frigonometry that thing is. That good. All over shadow banning. Mucho gusto generoso. Continuing supporter of Goofon. Thanks, Travis. Thank you. It is weird. Oh, hey, Donna G! Jiminy Christmas again? And she did it right. Well, there is no right or wrong way. She did it. For some reason, this works the best. There's nothing there, no comment. No sticker. Just pure super dono. Thank you, Donna G. I'm a little subdued tonight. I'm just baffled by what's happening. COVID. I can't, I don't know. Maybe I'm imagining it. I don't know. Donna, thank you. You are definitely a continuing supporter of Goof On. And because it's a 20, you know what? I know what I'm going to do. $10 and over get the videos. That's what it is. That's how we save some time. Thank you, Donna G. That was a little premature video, Rich. Donna G with a $20 super chat without the all over myself. Mucho gusto, generoso. And a continuing supporter of Goof On. Grazie. Mucho gusto, grazie. Shane Rodriguez, what's up, man? Good to be here from the start. Yeah, I know. Yeah, good, man. Thank you very much for the $1.99, $2. It's $2. Who we kidding? Super chat. Good to see you, man. And you're a continuing supporter of Goof On, that's for sure. Thank you. Good to see you. And you came on a night where I don't think it's the best night to be here. Yeah. Yeah, if I was everybody, I'd just leave. Mr. D.B. Cooper. 77, welcome to the show. Karen Mitchell, welcome to the show. Ms. Jamie, welcome to the show. That is a seductive look, isn't it? Alien Girl, Uno, welcome to the show. It is, right? Oh, hey girl, been a bit, but I finally got to catch a live. Thank you. Did I say hello to Mr. Mouse? That is funny. Great picture. Welcome to the show. Karen Mitchell, welcome to the show. Hey, Mike, you've got the curls, girl. Man, that must be great. Love curly hair. Welcome to the show. John P. Adventures, welcome to the... Great facial hair. Look at the way it just pops out of your cheeks and your upper lip there. And the chin. It's like a whole beard. It is a beard. Welcome to the show, man. Did I say it already, Paul Fahey? If I did, whoa, Jesus, man, you look fantastic. You look like the Predator. Good job, man. That's a very close liking. Alfie Joe Bob, that is the greatest letter A. Yeah, we got 88 and it's stuck at 88. 88 miles an hour. We're going back in time is what we're doing. We're going back in time. That's what happened. Jan Angela. Nice. Crystal energy. Beautiful, I guess. Diamonds and hearts and oh my. All right, we're done with this. If I didn't say hi, I'm sorry. Ghost 8, what's up? Hey, we're at 93. 5 people just walked in. You know what I think it is? I think the first 15 minutes, people know I do the roll call and all that. And I think you guys know. You know, I'm not going to sit through that. All he does is, hi, everybody. Yeah, I get it. I would do it too. But you got to make the niceties. You know what? Maybe I'll stop it. Maybe we just stop roll call. Remember, I just did it for a minute and a half. We'll go back to that. I'm not stopping it. We'll go back to a minute and a half. That's what we'll do. Black Lotus Productions. What's up, man? F shadow banning. It makes no sense. Paranormal channels made you to... And happy, you're a year older. We know, Damien, we know. We're not going to talk about it. But he's right. UFOs and porno made the internet. From what I heard. Thank you, Black Lotus Productions, for the $20. You didn't have to do that, man. Thank you very much. And of course, because it's a $20, more than 10. Thank you, Black Lotus Productions, for the $20 super chat. Hey, forget about Shadow Eggers banning all over the mothers. Mucho gusto, generoso. I am really, so stupid today. Catherine Deere, welcome to the show. Death Proof Bum 01, welcome to the show. Wild, whoa. Wild Carbon there. Welcome. Kepsta. All right, let's get going. All right. Today we just got coffee. Don't worry, I'm gonna shorten the intro. You're right. Because it's too much. Michael, 27. $14.20. Mucho gusto, generoso. You, sir. Michael R. 27 with a $14.20 super chat with no chat, no sticker, an exploding amount of fear. Mucho gusto, generoso. That one made no sense. But the super chat did. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You guys are very generoso today. Yep. I mean that. Yep. Have you guys... No, I'm not going to say it. I'm glad I checked. Rebecca with the $6 PayPal. I thought I heard it go off. No message. Perfect. Thank you very much. And, she did it twice. $2 more. $2 more because you are wearing a cool shirt that says Ireland. And I love your show. Well, it says sow. Would that make sense? I think the H is missing. And you wouldn't say I love your sow, right? No. Thank you, Rebecca, for $8. I mean, you're amazing. Okay, what is this I see? Oh, I have to check something. This is very important. Hold on. This, I think it has to do with Lou. Oh my God. Okay, everything just changed. Oh, this is great. I thought you might be able to use this for one of your shows. It's Greer discussing Lou, Nick Pope, and others about their disinformation. Greer is asking that we do what we can as a community to share this video with the public. Hell yeah! Let's do it now and not waste another minute. Oh, this is great. Thank you. Thank you, Wild Ascension. Wow, you're the best. Oh, I can't believe you thought of me when you got that. See, that's why you guys are the best. Honestly, you guys are the best. It's amazing to me. Let's pull it up. Oh, it's right on, I can just pull it off the message. That's right. Here we go. Let's take a listen to this. Thank you so much. Yeah, I know I wasn't going to talk about it, but I am going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it tonight. I have so much stuff to talk about. I have so much. All right, let's get this going. Hey, we're over 100. We can talk. We can do the show now. All right, I'm going to bring Greer. I don't want to do it that way. Do I? Yeah, let's do it that way. Let's bring it in full screen that way. It's the final countdown. Here we go. Let's listen to this. Greer said, share it with the world. Eggush. Oh, is it on? Hold on. We got volume. I heard him take a breath. Hold on.
Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Stephen Greer. I'm joining you from my home out in the Blue Ridge Mountains outside Charlottesville, Virginia, near the University of Virginia. And this is an update, sort of urgent. Many of you may have seen recently that the Disclosure Project pro bono attorney, Daniel Sheehan, who did the Pentagon Papers, Iran-Contra, the Silkwood case, and many others, is now working with Luis Elizondo. And so a lot of people are very confused on what's going on, since, of course, everyone on this call probably knows Luis Elizondo is a professional disinformation agent, putting out false intelligence about the UFO matter in through the mainstream media. The reason Mr. Sheehan is doing this, we've had a long discussion about it going back 2 or 3 weeks, is that Luis Elizondo approached him to help him with his legal case because the Pentagon was about to pull his security clearances. And it wasn't because he was doing things with TTSA, that they wanted him to do that. It was because he had resigned from TTSA, fallen out with the people that were the hardliners, wanting him to present that there was an alien threat or a threat to the national security. And he has told 2 people on my team, including attorney Daniel Sheehan, that he knows, and the other people like Chris Mellon know, that there is no such thing as an alien threat, that there is not a threat to the national security, but that's the only way they can get this in front of the American.
That's what we said. Remember? There's no threat. The only reason they're saying there's a threat because that's the only way. Don't say he's a clown. I'm a clown. Get rid of that guy. No, don't get rid of anybody tonight. Let them all say what they want. No, seriously. Unless somebody's dropping links, let the trolls troll. I just, for tonight.
American people to get more overt funding for the Space Force and eventually a conflict.
And if they're dropping links, get them out. Nobody can drop links. All right. I don't have it turned off, but if somebody's, you know what I mean. You know what I mean, Nathan. Coral.
With these extraterrestrial civilizations. He has flat out said he knows that everything he's been saying about this being a threat is untrue. Now, Daniel Sheehan has also shared, and this is even more explosive, that Luis Elizondo has informed him that he, in fact, has been in a facility where an actual extraterrestrial vehicle was stored. Now,
wait, what? He was in a facility. Wait a second.
Has been in a facility where an actual threat is untrue. Now, Daniel Sheehan has also shared, and this is even more explosive, that Luis Elizondo has informed him that he, in fact, has been in a facility where an actual extraterrestrial vehicle was stored.
So Luis Elizondo is saying he was in a facility where an extraterrestrial vehicle was stored. Got it.
Now, why is that important? Because he's all over the news, 60 Minutes, every mainstream news channel, along with his other cohorts in the cover-up, such as Leslie Keene, Nick Pope, Chris Mellon, and others, saying that we don't know what these are. Now, interestingly, he absolutely knows that some of these craft are, in fact, of extraterrestrial origin. He must also then know that some of them are ours. For example, the recent Jeremy Corbell interview on Fox News, where they were showing these triangles swarming, menacing our Navy ships. Every one of those pyramid, triangular-shaped objects with flashing light on them are from either Northrop Grumman or Boeing or the Lockheed, most likely Northrop Grumman.
So they, like we knew, it was bokeh, that little trick of light from the lens. And those were probably just craft from what he just said. No aliens, no swarming Tic Tacs. Here we go.
Those are man-made UFOs. They're anti-gravity vehicles. Everyone in the aerospace industry at any level of clearance knows this. So this is a big problem. So I told Mr. Sheehan, I said, look, you have to be very careful if you're going to work with this gentleman, you have to understand that he is a master of disinformation. I am quoting from a senior CIA official who wrote me about this when they first emerged after Unacknowledged came out in 2017. And of course, Daniel Sheehan knows this. He told me point blank, yes, we know this. The main reason he's working with him is to represent him and to get him to come clean. So it's a very interesting strategy. What Daniel Sheehan is trying to do is to get Luis Elizondo and then perhaps after him some of the others to actually admit that they know that there is not a threat from the UFOs and that they have been coerced into doing so. Recently on the internet, on a YouTube interview that's now been taken down, Daniel Sheehan admitted that there was an inspector general of the Pentagon had been pulled in to look into complaints from Luis Elizondo at the insistence of Daniel Sheehan about him being threatened with loss of his security clearance not because he was disclosing classified material, but because he went off the leash and was not wanting to continue to say the falsehood that these were an alien threat. I think in large part because Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, which exposes that as an absolute bold-faced lie, has now been seen by millions and millions of people, and it's one of the top trending documentaries on Amazon Prime and elsewhere. So what is happening here, just so people get clear, is it is not that Daniel Sheehan has defected to the dark side or anything like that. He's trying to encourage Luis Elizondo, and I think by extension some of these others, to in fact defect from the disinformation and lies that they have been saying in the mainstream media, up on Capitol Hill, and in other places about this subject. The two very big lies that they're telling, as well as their acolytes, people like Leslie Keene, who had worked with me originally on the Disclosure Project. By the way, she subsequently raided our pool of disclosure witnesses after she got on the inside, and along with some other people, put those nuclear military site witnesses, people who had been at nuclear silos and in other places together, and spun the story that the aliens, or whatever these UFOs are, were degrading our nuclear arsenal readiness, and therefore were they national security concern and threat. Also a lie, because every one of those men told me that they felt that the ETs were trying to say, please do not blow up this beautiful planet, but if you go so far as to launch thousands of these, we can basically disable them. So she is also someone who has pivoted towards getting the money and the attention and the mainstream coverage by basically telling a lie. That A, we don't know what these are, that B, it's a national security concern, and C, G, recently she said in an interview, Leslie Keene said, I think it was on Sunday morning, CBS, wow, maybe they're from Russia or China. Well, of course she knows that's not true. She sat there with people like Mark McCandless, with the schematics of the man-made UFOs, with people who had retrieved the actual ET craft and the bodies. She knows what the truth is about this, and yet she continues to go out into the public and tell the same two large lies. One, that these are some kind of national security threat or concern, and number two, that we do not know what they are or where they're from. Now, I think anyone who would do a cursory review of what we released in the book Unacknowledged and the documentary Unacknowledged, as well as Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, will see that we have proven that these are of two types. Because the head of the Lockheed Skunk Works, Ben Rich, wrote in answer to a friend who asked him, are these extraterrestrial or man-made? He said point blank in writing, signed by him on the Lockheed Skunk Works stationary letterhead, that they are both. They're both man-made and extraterrestrial. Now, this is
I'm going to be a little bit of a... That's the only answer that they can give. This is what bothers me. I know what Ben Rich said, that they're both. But when Greer said He wrote it out and said it in writing, and in my mind, I'm already saying they're both. Maybe because I've heard it, but that's what makes sense. You can't say one or the other, because if you say it's alien, what? If you say it's ours, huh? But if you say it's both, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, I hate ufology, but I love it. But this is, I don't know if this is anything new, right? This is, I don't know why Greer is doing this now, but maybe, I know there's more we have to listen to, but we kind of knew all this, right? That's the only thing Ben Rich can say. It's both, because you can't say one or the other, and then you're going to be like, what? You know, I already went through that. Yeah, okay.
Of course, one of the most preeminent aerospace figures of the 20th century. And this is not a contested item. It's in his penmanship and signed by him back to a friend that we've acquired. We have enormous amounts of information like that. So these people that you see on 60 Minutes, that you see on Fox News and CNN and all the media, this is the ramping up of the false disclosure that we warned about in 1999 when we wrote the paper, When Disclosure Serves Secrecy. Why? Because they want people to now know that there are UFOs, but they want to put this big lie out there that they are a national security threat and concern. This is what Nick Pope and others keep saying. By the way, Nick Pope has admitted to 2 people on my team that he has been paid large sums of money to say these very scripted things in the mainstream media.
Look, what Greer is saying right now is extremely important, because this is what we've been saying for, forever, the last couple of years since Lou came around. This sounds like a script. It's all scripted. It very well seemed like a script. And now, apparently, and I don't think Greer would say such slanderous things, that Nick Pope got large sums of money to say scripted stuff on mainstream news. Large sums of money. That's got to be at least $1 million, right?
So that he has been able to buy some really pricey real estate in Soho and London and elsewhere. One of my concerns about this is that while I normally do not engage in sort of gossip, is that now that these people are miseducating deliberately the American people and the world on this, it is a very big concern. They have stepped into another level of deception. It's one thing if you're at a UFO conference in front of 1,000 people. It's another thing if there are millions and millions of people hearing this lie. Now, all these people, from Chris Mellon to Luis Elizondo to Leslie Kean to Nick Pope and others, know for a fact just what I just said, that there are 2 types of UFOs seen. Man-made ones, that is the bigger secret, by the way. The ET issue is not as big a secret as the man-made ones, for a reason I'll get into in a moment. And that this is not a national security threat. All the images that you have seen in the mainstream news of the Tic Tac, of these pyramids and triangles,
bullshit.
Those are ours, and they were filmed.
First of all, again, I'm just going to say it quickly. Nothing new is being said here right now. Everything we've already heard and said and talked about. Wouldn't you agree? Maybe it's the first time Greer's coming out. But there's more, I guess. You know, in life, I talk about every now and then synchronicities. And I've had a couple today. And this show is being one of them. I didn't know Greer put this out today. And the thumbnail for this show is Greer with the witnesses at the Disclosure Project, the MPC. What are the odds of that happening? That's literally the weirdest. And I titled the show, Government Doesn't Want Disclosure. Had a whole different show set up. And then this video was sent to me by Wild Ascension, and it matched everything I set up. That's a synchronicity like no other. We're supposed to be doing this right now. And if that isn't a sign, I don't know what is. Also, now I see why Elizondo thinks people are on Greer's payroll. He thinks I'm on the Greer payroll. Third Phase of Moon and anybody attached to us. Crazy.
And known at some point they would release it to open the door to this subject, but there's more coming. You saw on the History Channel where the Italian helicopter that crash landed after it had some malfunction, that whole event, we know from Paula Harris, who was there and met with the man who's now the admiral who is on that show, said that those were our human classified electromagnetic weapons that they were attempting to target UFO ET craft that were in the area at the time. She knows this for a fact and documented it. So almost everything you're seeing that's going out through the mainstream media right now is not only a lie, but a damn lie, which is exactly what Werner von Braun warned about would eventually happen when he told Carol Rosin that in 1974, and of course, which I learned about in the early 90s and have been warning people about since. Unfortunately, we're going to live through this period of this false launch of information. The only way we're going to correct it is for all of you to share this YouTube video with everyone. I don't care if you rip it off the...
Now, oh my God, I'm listening to this and I'm saying, this is all stuff we've been talking about. Some of this I could have sworn. Yeah. This was shared on Third Phase of Moon 6 months ago. Or maybe even a little longer. This is the one that was played on Third Phase of Moon when we invited those guys, or they invited those guys, Third Phase of Moon and Greer, invited them on for the debate. That's this video. He just now put it, I think, out on his channel. Ha! Interesting. All right. Hey, it's really going on. Everything he said. Yep, this is the video that instigated the whole debate idea when Greer shared this with Third Phase of Moon. This is what created the stir. This is why Lou is doing what he's doing now. Look, we're still going to play it because this is it's interesting. But it's definitely worth sharing. And I'm going to continue playing it. We're going pretty quick, so no big deal. No big deal. I like it. I knew that shirt looked familiar. It just, something had a familiar ring to it, but my memory isn't what it used to be. And I watch so many things, I'm like, maybe I'm wrong. I'm second guessing. This is still great. So I'm going to continue with it because that's what we're doing.
Site and post it elsewhere.
Because this is what's going on now with Lou. All right? This is what's going on now. And he's on the offense. He's not on the defense. I don't know why Lou would even worry about anything anybody's saying about him. You know what I mean? It must be for something bigger down the road that I can't figure out. Maybe it has to do with his career in the future, more book deals, his credibility. It's really strange. But for a guy like Lou, to think that we should outright trust him because he's Lou Elizondo, because he's a nice guy. Not when you have the label counterintelligence worked at the Pentagon in a supposedly secret UFO division, which may or may Well, it did. It was real. ATIP was real. But whether Lou was a big part of that or not, I don't think so. But eventually all that truth will come back into light about Lou. He probably did work there, but not like work there. I'm sure he had assignments there. He was just paid. And then every now and then a UFO report would come in from the Navy or the Air Force and they would go investigate. Actually, the Air Force doesn't even give any of their footage or reports to the Navy or the government. Do they? I don't think they do, right? I think the Navy does. So maybe that's all Lou was doing, was researching UAP, even though ATIP wasn't really designed to look for unidentified aerial phenomena or UFO. It was there to look for unidentified aerial threats from other countries, but not aliens. Look, disclosure is a million miles away. I don't care what Greer says. I don't care what Elizondo does. I don't care what anybody says. It ain't happening. It won't happen, and it's not going to happen anytime within the next, definitely not in the next 10 years. We've got so much. Actually, this would be the time for the aliens to come down. This would be the perfect time. Not when things are going good. When the world's in a little bit of chaos. That's when they need to come, so it brings us all together. Russia and Ukraine, they'll shake hands and kiss each other, and it's all over because the aliens came. Dirt, dirt, dirt. Yeah. No.
Do it. Because unfortunately, we're at a point now where there is a massive information campaign that is false. And the reason they want people to think all of these are things that we don't know and can't figure out how they fly is so that eventually they can put out more scary information, perhaps next month with the Director of National Intelligence report, showing even more gruesome events that have happened that show, in fact, that these are a threat to the national security. Why? Of course, that with the fascist military industrial and industrialist complex want people to be afraid of something. So this is the next big thing. It's much bigger than 9/11. It's much bigger than COVID. We've been warning about it for some time. Unfortunately, we're trying to see if some people can get pulled off the precipice, including Luis Elizondo. And that is why Daniel Sheehan's working with him. Now, I've made it very clear that Daniel Sheehan has told me he would do this, that if he cannot get Luis Elizondo to speak the truth and come clean on this, that he would drop him as a client.
I remember this now.
We will hold him to this. This is something he must do. But in the meanwhile, we should give him some time to see if he can repair the situation by being an attorney representing the sort of the tip of the spear of disinformation going out to the media, which is, of course, Luis Elizondo, who was sent on this mission. My understanding is, people are complex. I think both Chris Mellon and Luis Elizondo regret what they've done. We also know that there are other people who are beginning to come forward with information, which sounds unbelievable, such as Jacques Vallée, disclosing that in the 1980s, he saw a document describing CIA-run alien hoax abductions in Brazil and Argentina. We are going to be releasing this soon, this information. There are a number of things that need to come out, and I'm making an appeal right now. Anyone who has information or has been on a tactical team engaging in these false flag operations from the 1950s until now need to come forward and expose this as a hoax. The reason for that is that if we don't expose the trickery and the hoax, the thing that the American public and the world are going to be left with is this terrifying perspective of there being a threat from outer space, which will justify not only the expansion of weapons into space, but also the Space Force and this alien threat narrative that they've been working on for 70 years.
Right. All right, we're going to hold on for a minute. We'll come back to that. because I have other things that kind of actually relate to what Greer's talking about. Some things in the news and other things that are on Twitter that are from the Deflate and other places. Holy crap, it's really raining out. I didn't know what it was. Let me pull some of this up and COVID. This is unbelievable timing today. No, this is great that video's put on Greer's channel now. So from Micah, however you want to say it, and the Deflate. It says here, and I'll pull it up. Opinion: UFOs are a national security concern. The USAF needs to come clean. Let me pull it up and show you. So, here it is. I wish they wouldn't put that up there. In June last year, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, the ODNI, issued its report, Preliminary Assessment. The 180 days thing ended June 25th. Got it. Yep. The United States Air Force has been silent on the issue, as noted by former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Intelligence, Christopher Mellonhead. We believe there is one primary reason for this silence. UAPs, better known as UFOs by the general public, have been tampering with our nuclear-tipped intercontinental ballistic missiles, or ICBMs, for decades, and the USAF doesn't want the public to know. Oh my God, that's what Greer said 7 months ago about what Leslie Kean was doing. And that's supposedly a lie, right? Oh, well, okay, wait, hold on. In response to a growing missile threat from Russia, the USAF began the deployment of ICBMs in '59. Since then, hundreds of these nuclear weapons have been buried in silos spread throughout northern tier states. Today, groups of 10 Minutemen nuclear-tipped missiles known as flights are controlled by pairs of Air Force launch control officers who sit in control capsule buried deep underground, known as a launch center. For decades, these highly vetted and highly trained USAF officers have stood watch, ready to launch these weapons at the direction of the President of the United States. Salas, a United States Air Force Academy graduate. Wait, what happened? Did I go too far? Oh, I did. In 2010 through 13 and 2021, several retired USAF officers held a news conference at the National Press Club in Washington. Minuteman, ICBM launch officers, and other USAF personnel detailed dozens of events of UAPs disabling their nuclear-tipped ICBMs during the 1960s. I interviewed retired USAF Captain Robert Salas. Why is this jumping? See that? It jumped on me. Where am I at? It just jumped all over. I interviewed retired USAF Captains Robert Salas and David Schindel, who were part of these press events, to understand why the Air Force is silent. Now remember, this report is coming from the debrief. Okay? Now the debrief is in bed with Lou Elizondo. Okay? They're good buddies. If you didn't know that. Tim McMillan, I call him Tim McShillen, is huge when it comes to UFOs, huge in the disinfo. He's bad for ufology, very bad. Whether you like him or not, he is definitely one of the Lou boys. He's one of Lou's boobs, is what he is. Lou's boobs. Brian Kegler says For $10, thank you. Isn't Greer just as much disinformation guy as Lou? Lou is threat and Greer is love and peace. No way can attorneys say things to Greer about his client. It's more BS. Yeah, right. I hear you. There's some things they could talk about. I understand. Brian makes a good point. Brian makes a very good point here. How can Greer talk about a client of Sheehan's? That would mean Sheehan would have told Greer his client's information. But it's public record, I think. Right? Isn't it public record when you go to court and everything? That's something I don't know. But I don't know if there's like doctor to patient, you know what I mean? Confidentiality. Is that the same with lawyers? Interesting. And I'm not sure Greer would say something that would put him in jeopardy. And this was 6 months ago, 7 months ago. And nothing's happened to Greer with this video. You would think, right, Brian? You would think. But I guess not. I don't know. It's a good question, though. Good super chat, too. We'll give you this one. Yeah, I wasn't even I broke up the show, and I'm not supposed to do that. But thank you, Brian. I appreciate the super chat and a continuing supporter of GoofOn. But that's the thing that I'm seeing here. And let's not forget. See, I'm really curious now. I'm really, 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 really curious about something. Okay, I see what happened. This article, this came out yesterday. So Greer put up the video combating all this bullshit here. And Brian said, isn't Greer as much a disinfo agent as Lou? I don't know if Greer's a disinfo agent. I think Greer believes in something and never has the proof. But I think Elizondo says a lot of stuff because he works for the government. It's weird. It's almost like they're both disinfo agents, isn't it? Yeah, because Greer says a lot of stuff I can't accept at all. And then anytime Greer has something, I'm like, I don't know. I always question it. I don't really see things on paper. I want to see the signatures. I want to see Greer's signature when he debriefs presidents on reports. I want to see that report was read by the president because he claims he's briefed the last 6 presidents or something like that. I don't know, right? The last 4 at least. And I don't think Greer goes in and debriefs it. I think he gives the debriefing to one of the people who are the president's, second-hand man, whatever. But I don't know if that person, the president's second-hand man, is giving him the UFO documents to be debriefed on. Can you imagine? The president doesn't know shit about what goes on in the UFO world, let alone at the White House. They don't know. They don't tell the president anything, and we all know this. I don't care what Obama said or Clinton said or Bill said or anybody said. They're temporary. You can't have somebody who's the president for 4 to 8 years tell them the secrets of everything, and then they're gone and they don't come back. They're not senators or governors. They don't go backwards. It's a very interesting dynamic here. And now this all makes sense, because the debrief put this up yesterday. How the aliens, or the UFOs, were dismantling nuclear weapons or degrading them, making them a lot weaker. I mean, that's this right here. It's what I'm reading you. Well, check this out. So, the USAF may have concluded that they don't want to acknowledge that they've come up with no effective defense. Why is this jumping? Thereby admitting to an extraterrestrial military superiority, Salas told us. Schindel, or Schindeli, whatever, detailed a similar event at Minot Air Force Base, North Dakota in September 1966, however. He was part of the relief crew that took over a flight of Minutemen missiles that had been disabled the night before by a large craft. What? He was part of the relief crew that took over a flight of Minuteman missiles that had been disabled the night before by a large craft. The ICBMs were offline for several days, and while he was not required to sign an NDA, he was ordered by the AFOSI not to speak of the event, even amongst other Air Force personnel. We were mystified how this object could take all 10 of our missiles off alert and make them unlaunchable. We couldn't believe we had just gone through, especially talking with people topside, the tenor of their voices and expressions on their faces. Years later, at Air Force reunions, Schindel discovered that UAP incidents in the missile fields were common. There have been many incidents I heard about years later that happened when I was there. To hear the way they explain this, the emotion that comes out, it strikes you that what they experienced was quite traumatic. I don't know if he talks that way, but in my mind he does. The Air Force doesn't want the American people to know that the military cannot protect them from this highly intelligent technical stuff that exists with these objects. This is beyond the physics and imagination that we have. And I'm sure the Air Force cannot explain a good part of this and don't want to admit it, stated Schindel. These retired Air Force officers trusted with our nuclear weapons are some of the most vetted military officers in the country. Many other airmen have gone on record with similar stories. It's time for Congress to have them testify in open hearings. More importantly, Congress must demand answers from the USAF. Why have they been hiding this all along? And why can they not protect our skies? Because it's alien technology. I'm not so sure. Here's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong. But wouldn't it make sense that it was human error that turned off, removed the missiles from being launched capability? Couldn't it be that? And they're just saying it was UFO? Probably not. But I don't know why Greer cares so much about this, saying that it's a lie, that that's not what happened, that it's actually both military, private corps, alien. This is very disturbing. This is what bothers me about the whole field. It's what we've been talking about for 3 years plus. I'm getting messages like it's nobody's business. Hold on. I think I've got some more stuff to play. Let me see if I can do something here. Yeah, let me play this. All right, I'm going to continue here and we'll come back. I've got another thing I want to talk about that actually relates to this. This is where we're at, guys. This is where we're at. Right now, even though this video Greer has up is 6 months old, it's exactly the narrative being played out. This is what's going on. The threat assessment has gone away because of the AOI MSG. That was to get that office. They got the office. So no longer is the threat being talked about, but it is still part of the narrative. If you hear Lou talking in a 2-hour or an hour and a half interview, he brings it up. Oh, holy shit. I don't know if you could hear that. Thunder.
Remember, Wesley Clark, 4-star general, Wesley Clark, as well as Werner von Braun and Carol Rosin have stated that they have seen documents that were very top secret that were listing all the nations that we would get into wars with, and that the big crescendo, the final card to be played, as Werner von Braun stated, would be the alien threat card. We are there now in 2021, May of this year. By next month, who knows where this will have gone. We need to move very forward.
May? This is 10 months old? Damn.
Aggressively to get the truth out. So we are working so that in the next month, the Cosmic Hoax, this next documentary that all of you have helped fund, and I'm thanking you very much for that. We are already now in post-production on that. And I've seen a rough cut, the first 45 minutes. It's amazing. Out June 1st. That has been repeated. Look, the entire mainstream media, the intelligence community, and the military-industrial complex is arrayed against the truth. Full stop. End of discussion. And so we, the people, are going to have to stand up and say, oh, wait a minute. This is not the truth. Here's what the actual truth is. We know that many of these are man-made. We know they have been done and used in false flag operations. And we also know that some are extraterrestrial, but they are not hostile. So I think that this is really what I said in 1992, 93 would become a sort of a struggle for the minds and hearts of humanity, the future of our planet, and the future of our place in the cosmos. And it's a choice. We're at a fork in the road as a civilization. We're either going to choose to go forward in peace on this planet and in space, or we will be facing quite literally an extinction level event if we stay on this path of violent engagement and the expansion of the war machine in the space and the placement of weapons in space, etc. As it is, there are already very destructive weapons on satellites and on the ground and on aircraft that target extraterrestrial vehicles when they come into 3D out of trans-dimensional space-time. And we also have events happening where these very advanced aircraft made by the Lockheed Skunk Works and other places are in fact being used in false flag operations. Many of you have asked me, when will the false flag event happen? You don't get it. It already has. It's been happening since the 50s. So many of the UFO events that have been portrayed as alien or not, abductions, mutilations, some of the crash landings, like the Cash Landrum case, where those people were injured with radioactive waste being spewed on them, those were all man-made accidents. But they were portrayed as unknown UFO incidents, and the unknown translates into public awareness immediately to alien. So I think we have to be very clear that this is a disinformation campaign that has gone from, let's say, the fringes of alternative media and the UFO subculture now straight into the mainstream media and coming straight out of the US government at the level of the Director of National Intelligence and the Congress.
Well, everything he's saying, we know this is now 10 months old, but also the fact that Lou Elizondo is at the center of this, and I think Christopher Mellon is the guy with the money, the guy with the connections. And I know Lou has connections now because of Mellon, but you know, when you become a lifer in the military, or you want to do something in the government other than military, and you want to become somebody in Congress, be a senator, a governor, or whatever, this is what you do. You have to mingle with the people who can get stuff done for you. And everybody knows that politics is a dirty, dirty, dirty business. And a lot of lying, a lot of cheating, stealing, a lot of backstabbing, a lot of handshake deals that go on behind closed doors, around the corner, behind the barn, as Lou would like to do. This is just filthy. Filthy. We are in a filthy business. And this is why you will never, ever get disclosure. I don't think disclosure is ever going to happen, personally. But I definitely don't think it's happening in 10 years, 20 years. I'm not even sure about that. But now I'm going to switch videos real quick because Greer's pretty much repeating. And I have something here that was sent to me by Third Phase. And I think this was the original video or something of this. Let me see. This is probably better than what I was playing. Let me see. Let's just take a quick look here. Hold on. I think it's the same thing.
What's going on? This threat, this constant narrative of aliens are a threat. We got to watch out for them. He's not happy at all. So this is what we're doing. Dr. Greer has agreed to come on Third Phase of Moon's platform and discuss and debate with Luis Elizondo, Nick Pope, Jeremy Corbell,
Crazy eyes,
including Luis Elizondo's lawyer, Daniel Sheehan. They're all invited to come to a debate that we're going to be having on Third Phase of Moon exclusively in about 2.5 weeks. It's going to take us a little while to organize this major event, discussion, conversation, whatever you call it. Dr. Greer is ready to take them all on. Hey, we don't want to have like a major fight. We just want to have a discussion. Obviously.
By the way, I'm interrupting this one time. This is what we've been trying to do, is have a discussion with the other side. They don't want to talk to us. They don't want to answer harder questions than the softball ones that they've been getting. They want to lead the narrative where they want it to go. So they're not being transparent with us. They're not going to tell us anything new. Everything you've already heard is not changing at all. So now it's up to you to decide whether you believe that Elizondo is connected like he says he is, or is this all for personal gain, setting up a future based on lies of disinformation for the better of the greater good of United States, maybe, has nothing to do with UFOs or UAPs. Because remember, ATIP was not supposed to be about UFOs at all. Just foreign adversary technology that may have drifted into secured airspace. That's what ATIP was. Nothing to do with UFOs. Sorry, UAPs. It just turned out that way. That, you know, when they did the presser with TTSA and introduced Lou from ATIP, it somehow got turned into a UFO thing. OSAP was the real UFO group that was doing the real work. ATIP was just, I don't know. I think it was like a front for something else. Yeah, foreign adversary technology. I get it. That's what it was a front for. It had nothing to do with UFOs or UAPs. So when you hear these stories about Lou working at ATIP, That's what ATIP really was. And we all learned this again through Who's Lou, Area 503, Manny's documentary. So we have been trying to get Lou on one of our shows. I have now tried twice. He doesn't respond to me. And it's weird because I know when they're talking about certain individuals, Lou never uses names. See, that's the difference. They don't use names. If Lou has a problem with something, someone, say who it is. I don't like this, oh, they're criminals, and oh, they got this, and they've done this when they were 22 years old, 30 years ago. You know, they were driving extra fast or, you know, whatever. Looking up, and Lou's proud and talks proudly about using his counterintelligence background to do research on all of us and throw the dirt up when he's ready. So, if anybody knows how to look up the background stuff, not all of it's accurate. So you never know what's going to pop up on your own background history. I know for me, there's a guy with the same initials, the same name, who used to live about 5 miles from me. And everybody thought that was me. Posting my address and all that stuff back then. It was crazy. Anyway, I'm going to play the rest of this because it's good to get a reminder on what we have tried. And they've all turned down. And they turned it down like children, a couple of these people. How dare you call me Corbell? How dare you call... Oh, God, he was such a bitch. Just a little bitch. See, that's how I want Lou to talk, but he won't. Lou won't call me a little bitch because he knows he if we got in a boxing match, it'd be over. He still hasn't replied to that. I thought I saw a super chat come up before. Fred, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Fred, I think that's supposed to be RXers. TM with the $1 super chat. Thank you very much. I think you're a new supporter of the show, so thank you very much for that. And Mr. DB Cooper, crazy how having your opinion has become trolling. Yeah, have you noticed that? Thank you, DB Cooper with a $5 super chat. I know when I went into the Kurt Jamungel's chat room when he had the discussion yesterday with Lou's interview and the other guys, I didn't even say anything mean. I was just talking in there, and they saw goof on. Oh, well, don't worry about the trolls. So I was like, yeah, anybody who disagrees with Lou is a troll. That's what we are. It's so funny. Trolls don't really have a meaning anymore. You guys have used it, just like you said everybody's a racist, and then you said everybody's Nazis. Yeah, even that doesn't even hold water anymore. You guys are ruining cut downs is what you're doing. You're overusing them because you're desperate. You're desperate to make us go away. We're not going away. We don't want anybody to go away. We don't want Lou to go away. We want Lou to tell us the truth. Not as he sees it. And maybe Lou obviously can't say certain things. We get that. If everything he says about himself is true, right? Obviously, he's got an NDA to worry about. But Greer wants him to throw it all away and just tell us what you know. Tell us what you know. We'll protect you. Sheehan will protect you, is what Sheehan is trying to do for Lou. Trying to figure out a way around the NDA so Lou can speak freely. And anybody else who wants to come forward with an NDA. Don't you think that the NDA don't you think somebody would have figured out a way to get around that all these years? There's no lawyer that has ever figured out a way for somebody to speak freely with an NDA. You just can't do it. That's why they have them. So you can't spill the beans without being in a frick load of trouble.
There's one narrative to the story that's going on in the major media, and they're refusing to give the other side of the narrative.
That's us!
We're really concerned due to the fact that we believe that there is no such thing as an alien threat. We believe if there is a threat by these unmanned craft, these Tic Tac, these gimbals, this is something involved within military or black ops or private corporation technology. Humans are behind it. There's a big difference, and that's what Dr. Greer wants to go over. And so we're inviting Jeremy Corbell. We're reaching out to you, and if anybody knows Jeremy Corbell's contact, please contact Jeremy. Say Third Phase Moon wants to talk to him. Dr. Greer wants to speak with them, and it's going to be on a platform. Hopefully we could have a discussion for about an hour, 2 hours. Jeremy, if you're listening, contact me. My email's in the description below. Now, Luis Elizondo, he's been making the rounds. You've seen him on 60 Minutes. You've seen him on all the platforms. Luis, my name is Blake Cousins. I've never invited you on the show, but I think it's about time we do. Dr. Greer is ready to speak with you personally on this platform to discuss some of the differences you guys have. Hopefully we could resolve this. Luis, there's a lot of pressure in the UFO community in regards to the information that you're putting out, and there's an alternative view on this whole subject matter. So, Luis, if you're hearing me, please, again, my email is in the description. Dr. Greer called out Nick Pope. That was interesting to me. I guess Dr. Greer has some issues with Nick. Not exactly sure why. I guess he explained it to me last night. Again, we had a 2-hour heated conversation with Dr. Greer. He wasn't mad at us. He was just mad at the whole narrative. And like I said, he's kind of unhinged right now because the time is now. And there's a lot of eyeballs on the subject matter, being that there's millions and millions and millions of people seeing the one side of the narrative. Well, Nick, if you want to back up your statement, continue with the narrative, please, I urge you to come on this platform, approximately 2.5 weeks.
So that's pretty much it, inviting the rest of them to come on the show and whatnot. Pretty cool back then. I remember that stirred everything up. And I don't want you guys to forget, because a very important documentary is coming out. And I want you to take a look at this. April 5th, above top secret.
If the crash retrievals are true, then all bets are off.
It's very hard for people to get their minds around where the real power is. And it's not at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. The reality is something much more stark.
They've been working on this for 60, 70, perhaps 80 years.
The reason why the government is talking about these UFOs now, they're getting ready for the next level of war.
Are these objects a national security concern?
They're proffering a narrative of a national security threat that doesn't exist.
I call them alien reproduction vehicles. They're made by private corporations somewhere on this planet.
Technology from Roswell from 1947 has largely been held back from us.
Portal technology, teleportation, whatever you can imagine, it's already been done.
The biggest secrets are not the zero-point energy and electrogravitics. It's the science of consciousness. All their communication systems are moving through the consciousness field and are thought actuated. The people at the CIA call it WSFM, weird science and frickin' magic. The transdimensional interstellar technology will benefit humanity.
There has been tremendous disinformation.
The media is keeping secrets with the government.
These are lethal, vicious people. And I'm focused on exposing the extraordinary technologies that they want to keep secret. No aspect of life on Earth will be unaffected by them.
Oh! Above Top Secret, coming out April 5th on all streaming services. That's going to be some documentary. And I can't wait. That's about the technology. You guys are going to love that documentary. Like nobody's business, I promise. So the debrief yesterday is talking about the missile silos that have been deactivated, that had our nuclear warheads or other countries' nuclear warheads deactivated. Apparently it's happened several times. Now, with the Russia thing happening with Ukraine, a lot of people are talking about WW3 happening and wondering if there will be alien intervention. Now, this is an interesting thing that's happening, that's actually playing out. Because if you were to go into now, I don't know what this is. I don't know if I'm even using it right. Maybe some of you will need to correct me. But if our government or the governments aren't really running the world, and the people that are really running the world, we're supposed to do what Wernher von Braun said, and that was supposed to be the pandemic, and then it was a false flag alien invasion. That was the it was the pandemic and asteroid, and then a false flag alien invasion. Well, the asteroid thing, it has to happen for Wernher von Braun to get it right. It doesn't make sense to me. Disclosure will never happen, Mr. DB Cooper 77 says with a $5 super chat, because we are idiots. And it will happen on Lou time, obviously. I don't know what that means. So you're saying disclosure will never happen because we are idiots, and it will happen on Lou time? I don't know what that means. That's a little confusing. What do you mean it'll happen on Lou time, obviously? Thank you for the $5 super chat. A continuing supporter of GoofOn, obviously. I don't know what that means. I'll leave it up there. I don't know. I put a survey. It's raining so hard, I can't believe it. Asking the chat room, do you think disclosure will ever happen? And let's see where we're at. 50 votes already. 73% no, 74 no's, 26 yes. We'll let that go for another minute or two. But I obviously it's 75% don't think disclosure will happen. Now, that is an interesting thing I'm seeing in the chat. That is actually what I have been saying for years. Haven't said it in a while. But it seems about 10 to 20% of people believe disclosure will happen. Disclosure, what is it? Greer says that we've already had disclosure because we're seeing alien technology being reverse engineered and we're also seeing aliens. That's Greer. Now, I'm not buying it, but I am. I'm not buying that Greer can talk to aliens or has that kind of evidence. That's on him. Not until I can see it myself, I don't believe it. Because I don't think people can talk telepathically to aliens. But I do believe that we do have back-engineered technology now. And that I used to say that the Tic Tacs were China, most likely. I think I'm wrong. It's us. I had it wrong for a while. But that's what happens. It's okay to be wrong. As long as you eventually are able to see with different information, new information, maybe something came out that convinced me. And it was talking with Third Phase, talking with other people, and with them knowing things that I don't know and people I don't know, and they were hearing things that I can't hear, it makes sense that the Tic Tac, if real, is ours by these privately funded black projects that we cannot get the Freedom of Information Act to release any of the information because it's a private company. That's what the government's doing. Now, the scary thing is, and this is new, and this is what was being talked about in the 50s and 20 years ago and now, that these private companies, I mean, back in the day, you know, I don't know how many private companies we had, but I'm sure there were back in the 50s, 60s that were working on back-engineered shit. I don't even know, did we have a FOIA thing back then? You were able to do FOIA requests in the 50s and 60s? I don't know if there was a Freedom of Information Act. I think that came out after 2001, right? Anyway, maybe not. Maybe, I don't know. But with all the information that's come out over the years, it's us. And they're worried that these black projects, these privately funded companies, are going to have technology more powerful than its own government has. And that's the fear right now. So maybe, just maybe, this has to do with the disinformation campaign to take our eyes off of what's really going on. They're out there. The UFOs are out there. Back-engineered craft? Yeah, why not? Where did they come from? That's the next question. I want to say that these craft were found, like Bob Lazar said, at archaeological dig sites. But why are there alien abductions? Because they're not alien abductions. This is the new thing that's being, not new, but it's being brought up again. It's not that there's aliens doing it. It's us drugging our own people and making them think they're being abducted by aliens to throw off the scent to the back-engineered alien craft that we have now in our arsenal. Maybe the Tic Tac. Mr. D.B. Cooper with a $50 super chat. He says, to add on to what he said earlier, I mean that anyone who is new to the field stick to what, they stick to what Lou says. He hates the phenomenon because it's a hardship on his life, even though he took an oath to protect us. And we are wrong for having an opinion now, Rich. Yeah. Did I miss something? No. You got it right. That is exactly right. Thank you for helping me with that. I keep forgetting. Lou is part of these new people that just came out 5 years ago. All the people who were in love with TTSA and what Tom DeShlong was doing are Lou lovers. 1,000,000% right, Mr. DB Cooper 77. 1,000,000% on the nose. It's all of those people. That's why Lou says he wants to destroy and rip up and rebuild ufology with only science and only facts. Really? We've been trying to do that for years, you dick. Acting like you're doing something new. Lou, you're not new. You're old. You just got here. You're just learning how the field works, my friend. The UFO field. You want to be in our community? Then you need to talk to everybody about it. You're splitting things down the middle. You're the problem. He's the problem. He is what the problem is in ufology. 1,000,000%. Absolutely a problem. He's breaking us up on purpose. He's causing dissension within our ranks. He's doing it on purpose. Don't you see it? It's plain and simple right in front of our eyes. It is only those people who are new to the field within the last 4 to 5 years are the ones that lick his boots. None of us older people like Lou. We don't like his narrative. We don't like what he stands for. Because he came out talking about as if he was going to be the next disclosure thing. And then he started off talking about a threat almost immediately when he got introduced to the field. And then you're like, what is he talking about? Greer's like, what is this guy doing? Threat. He's covering up the reality that is the Tic Tac. Mr. D.B. Cooper, thank you. Thank you, Mr. D.B. Cooper, for a well-informed $50 super chat. It makes sense and you didn't miss anything. Good. All over Lou. Mucho gusto, generoso. Wow. Unbelievable. Holy shit, we gotta go. Oh my God, FAP with a $10 super chat. That goes all over the face unless it's Felicia, then it's double. Ah, you stinker. Yeah. That is unbelievable, you. Oh my God, that's so funny. Thank you for that. I needed that laugh at the end here. We've got a lot to talk about. So what we're going to do, Brian Kegler. Oh, that's when FOIA came out, a $2 FOIA, July 5th, 1967. All right. Thank you very much. Well, when we come back at 11 o'clock on Goof on Lives, we're going to continue the conversation. So we're going to say goodbye. This was the fastest show in the history of my ever doing shows. But what a great night. Thank you, super chatters. Thank you, moderators. Hey, some of you are back to moderating. Somebody else is a moderator now. Congratulations. Enjoy. And I want to thank everybody. Third Phase of Moon, thank you for sending me the information. Wild Ascension, thank you for the clip and the reminder of Greer. Guys, thank you for supporting the show. We'll see you in 27 minutes. And I need you to join me on Goof on Lives at the top of the hour coming up. We'll see you.
There's a good thing. It's rotating.
What was in the skies of Greer? And why did it downwards treasured sites in Christianity?